Hey guys, welcome back to the Sports Place. We're happy to have you guys back. Make sure you like and subscribe. We appreciate your time, man. Let's get it started.
All right, so do you think Bellator is gonna come up and finally be like a legit competitor for UFC?
Let me give a quick take on this, Jay. I'm gonna be very quick and concise.
Okay.
Answer is no. As long as UFC is UFC, there will be nobody on UFC's level. You know, you have to always have the brother and sister brands and stuff like that. Just like the NFL, you see the CFL, the XFL, they will never be on the same level as the NFL as long as the NFL is still here. There's so much time has been put in this one brand that has been pushed, and all people know. You ask somebody, they wouldn't even hear Bellator or what's the one fighter championship, stuff like that. They don't know what those things are, but they know UFC because that's what get pushed. That's what got TV time. You don't really see these fights unless you have these certain channels or you're online with it. So if they can find a way to advance their revenue in broadcasting, then maybe, which I highly doubt, because UFC is just going to push even harder because they're not going to be one to overtake it. So it's just about them wanting to ramp up their competition level, and I don't think UFC is going for it. That's just my take on it.
No, I think that was a good comparison when you talked about the NFL and the XFL. I think the CFL is a little different, but I will say NFL and XFL, before it was the NFL and the USFL. The USFL literally tried to compete, like get the biggest players, have their own draft. That's how they got Herschel Walker in the beginning. That's how they got Jim Kelly in the beginning, because they were like, we're going to bid and we're going to pay these players more, but it was so uneven between, those great players that they were able to get, and the guy that they just picked up who played in community college, that it just didn't make for the same product that the NFL had, and that's why they didn't make it. And Donald Trump. That's a whole nother story. Like straight up, if maybe we'll do a video on how Donald Trump ruined the USFL before he ruined the US. But what I will also say is, I think that Bellator, if you watch the product that they put on, I just watched the show that they did where it was the debut of Usman Nurmagomedov. I know I said that name wrong, but he is Khabib's cousin. Mm-hmm. And man, like the kid looks amazing. And they've got some really good talent. It's not just washed up UFC fighters, but like some really good fighters. And I love that it's constantly a tournament. You know what I mean? Like a guy can't win a title and sit on it. You know what I mean? And like not fight. Like you have to fight several times a year. And I love that tournament, thing where you could be the 16th ranked fighter and still have a chance at winning the title if you go through and run through a bunch of guys. I think when you look at the top 5, and this is going to be one of our videos coming up soon, the top 5 MMA prospects, most of them fight in Bellator. One of them being McKee, who's about to fight Patricio Pitbull. And, Pitbull is a beast. I think Pitbull could fight in any league with anybody, just like we're seeing with Michael Chandler in the UFC. Michael Chandler can fight anybody in any league. He is that good. And so I think Bellator has some really good talent, some really good up-and-coming talent. They have a good business model. They have a good platform. It just comes down to people actually watching them. And I think that they're good, man. Like, we should start giving them a chance. Now, where I will say I watched the Bellator women's fight, and I was like, those women are not on the UFC level. Like, that's where I saw a drop off.
Eric and UFC, you can see the comparison between like the really good fighters and the fighters who just fight. It's a big disparity between those. Like, you only have a few like people that's actually just dominant and winning. Everybody else's record is probably about a little over 500, if anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you have a GOATs, and then you have people that could be in any other division, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Alejandra Lara. Last night she was fighting. She kept punching this girl in the face and still lost.
Yeah, she took it and then like took her to the ground.
Yeah, and then the girl took her to the ground. Like there were just so
That's
many
how it
holes in everybody's game on the women's side that I was like, they're not ready for UFC women. But the the Bellator men, there were a couple of guys in there that I think could fight in any league, and either do well or be in that kind of championship hunt. And I think Bellator, their ownership stays out of politics, stays out of all of that, and they just kind of stick to being MMA guys. And I really appreciate that. I think it's dope, and so hopefully we'll see what kind of viewership they get and see if they can grow. And they're on Showtime, they're on Hulu, they have they're accessible. I think it's possible, maybe, in the future that they can start challenging UFC, but it's not going to happen overnight. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Well, speaking of growing membership or growing viewership, go ahead and hit like and subscribe and help us grow ours. And that's all for us right now. See you next time.